Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we got a fun one for you today. A few videos ago we did these floating multi-images here that are all floating up and down, as you can see at different timings there. We had a great question. Somebody said, can you do this with some buttons? But when you do it with the buttons, when they hover over it, they wanted the animation to stop. And of course the answer is, yep, sure can. Here we are with some buttons. They're all floating up and down at different rates there. When I hover over one, it's going to stop floating. It's going to change color. They can hover over it, click on it, do what they need to do on it. Really easy to do. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. Great. And once enabled, let's go down to where we want to work. Let's go down to those buttons. Let's delete this whole section here. Let's also delete the row that we got these floating images in, and we'll start from scratch. Okay, so I've got an empty section here, the blue tab right there. I'm going to add a row. In mine, I'm going to put 3 columns. Obviously, put it as many or as few columns in yours as you want. Funny enough, we're going to use a button for this. Obviously, put what you want your button to say. And with a call to action button, of course, the most important thing is where it's going to take people when they click on it. Do that down below under link there. Put in whatever URL you want. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off site to somebody else's, open it in a new tab. That way your site's going to stay open. Fantastic. Not going to do anything with an admin label. Line up wise, I want it to be in the middle of my column. I'm happy with the text. I will just adjust that button because for mine, I don't think I want that icon there when they hover over it. I just think I want the writing. So to do that, we can go into button just down below here, and we'll use custom styles for the button. Button text size, I'm happy with that. Text color's fine too, white. Button background, I've not got a problem with the blue. Let's set a different color on hover. To do that, and this is common to all Divi modules, if you roll up over the dark writing within a module, you see some little icons appear. If there's a little arrow there, we can have one value on for desktop when the mouse is not on it, which will stay blue, and one value for hover when the mouse is on it. Let's make that perhaps purple. Great, that'll work for me. And just to finish it off, I'm just going to give it some rounded corners. I'm actually going to take the border away, make it slightly skinnier there, so we don't have to change border colors on hover. Border radius, I'm going to up that so we've got a pill-shaped button. So if we put a high value in there, perhaps 50, we'll have nice rounded corners. Fantastic. Great. Well, we've got our button there, but of course we want it to sort of float up and down like we saw those images doing and those other buttons. And I've still got that icon there, so let's fix that while we're in the button settings here. If I roll down a little bit more, show button icon, just flip that to off if you don't want to show it on hover. Or if you want to show it all the time, you've got only show icon on hover, it's automatically switched to yes. If you flip it to no, you'll have the icon there all the time. I'm happy to have no icon on mine. Great. Okay, well, to do this, we've got to do a bit of CSS coding, and don't let it worry you. It's really easy. In fact, I'm going to recycle the code we used for those images the other day. So let's go over to the advanced. I'm going to go down to custom CSS here. Now to target this module, all we need to do is write selector. But like I say, I'm going to recycle the code I used the other day, and I'll paste it down below the video for anybody that wants to copy and paste it. So here's the code that our images had, and selector, so we selected the button itself. We told it to have an animation that we called imflt that's going to run for 6 seconds. It's going to keep running because it's infinite. It's going to be linear, so it's going to be smooth when it's going up and down. That's pretty good right there. And what we've got happening here in our 6-second time frame, at 0% when the page loads, it's right where it should be, margin top 0. Quarter way through, it's -20, so it's going to lift up. Halfway through, it's going to go back down to the center. 75% is going to be margin top 20, so it's going to push it down by 20. Then it's going to come back up to the center. And that's what's creating this bounce effect here. Now, you may have noticed, or you may not have noticed, it's actually pushing that section down below it there. I don't want that to move at all. So we can fix that by giving our row that this is in a fixed height. So let's just save what we've got going on here. We'll go into the row itself, green tab for the row, and we'll give it a fixed height. To do that, go over to Design, Sizing. I'm actually going to give it a minimum height rather than a fixed height. Minimum height means it can get bigger if it needs to, but it's going to be no smaller than whatever we set here. We'll try 150 pixels. It puts in the pixels for you. Let's see if that does it. That's fine. There's no movement down below there at all. Let's perhaps change that to 130. See if we can make it smaller. That's fine. There's still no movement down there. Perfect. Can we take it any smaller than that? Try 120. No, we've got a bit of movement there. Now it's just pushing that down by perhaps 10 pixels or so. No, it's actually fine. I thought I saw it jump just now. So that's going to work fine. Once we're happy with that, we'll save our changes here. Okay, well, we've got our little bouncing button there. Let's go back into the button itself, which is great. But what they want is when they hover over it, they want it to stop bouncing up and down like that. They want it to be stable. Really easy done. We just got to modify this code slightly. If we go back into our custom CSS now, I'm going to select this bit, select the animation down to that closing curly bracket right there. Control C to copy. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to paste it in there. Right after the R of selector with no gap, I'm going to write the word hover. And don't forget, this code's down below for anybody that wants to copy and paste. And I'm going to say animation none. So when they hover over it, it should stop that animation. So it's hovering there nicely. When I hover over now, as you can see, it's stopping. When I take my mouse off, it's going to start bouncing up again. Fantastic. Great. Now, of course, to rinse and repeat and get these things going at different rates, really easy to do. We'll do the same that we did with the images there. I'm going to clone it or duplicate it with the two little squares icon there. Let's make 2 copies. We'll grab one, drag it over to wherever it is you want to put yours. Grab the second one. I'm just left clicking on the little cross there, dragging it to where I want it and releasing my left mouse. Now at the moment, those look like they're going up and down in different rates, but actually when I refresh this page, it's gonna, or in fact, let's just do this. They'll actually be bouncing up and down at the same rate. I'm just going to save this draft a moment. And if I refresh this page now, let's roll back down to our buttons. As you can see, they're rolling up and down at the same speed, which is fine if that's what you want, but I want mine to be rolling up and down at slightly different speeds. Really easy to do, and if you watched our image video, you know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go into my second one. I'm going to go to the advanced to our custom CSS. I'm going to change that timing to perhaps 8 seconds. And obviously adjust it to whatever timing you want. So it's going to be a different time to get up and down than the one on the left. I'm going to go on to this one. Third one, advanced custom CSS. And 6, let's maybe make this 7 seconds. And the more apart you make those timings, the more dramatic the effect's going to be. Great. Now the only other thing I should mention that we gave this a minimum fixed height in design and sizing here. If you want to, you can adjust for tablet and mobile by hovering over the dark writing, hit the little phone type icon, and if you need to, you can adjust settings for tablet and mobile. Great. So we should be good to go. Let's save that. We'll save the page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the Visual Builder. And if we roll on down, there's our little floating buttons right there. As you can see, they're floating up and down at different rates. When I hover over one, it's going to stop in the middle. We can read it, click on it. Same with these two here. When you take your mouse off, it's going to start back up again. And as with all animations and hover effects and things like that, people are mousing around your site. Things are moving on it like that. It's going to get their attention pretty quickly, which is exactly what you want, especially with the call to action button. So there you go, guys. There's how to create some animated floating call to action button with a Divi theme. Really easy to do, as you can see. Don't forget that code's down below. I would suggest you write your own code. It's a really great thing to know and will take your editing skills to a whole new level. It really will. CSS is not difficult and it's great fun too. At least I enjoy it. So there we go, guys. If you have any questions, pop them down below the video. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video just like this one. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.